Today, we're going to talk to you about setting goals. FYI, first tip is goals will never stop. Just like your to-do list, it will never stop. That's not a bad thing. Life goes on, it keeps on going, and you evolve. All right? So, here are some tips that I got from, oh my God, I hope I don't butcher his name, John A. Cuff. Yeah, okay. And his book is called Finish, or audiobook because I listened to it. So the first tip that I got from his book is 92% of New Year's resolutions fail. So only 8%. So if there were 100 of you in this, watching this video right now, 8 of you will succeed, 92 of you will fail. Just letting you know. Just like I know a few small businesses and they say, you know, I forgot what the stats were, but I said X% of small businesses fail within the first 5 years. And that person said to me, yes, but I'm not going to be one of those. And guess what? That business closed down. It's so easy to say it's not going to happen to me. But again, if the numbers are against you, then it most probably will. I don't want to sound like a negatron, right? But yeah, I definitely want to think, you know, I'll be in that 8%. That's how you should think of it. But if you're not planning accordingly, if you're not setting goals, then you will be in that 92%, the majority. All right, the next thing here is, the less people aim for perfect, the more productive they became. So, perfect is the enemy of progress. I think, well, that's what I remember anyway. It's a lot easier to progress through things rather than being perfect. So what do I mean by that? I think they did this thing where they asked, I just heard it at a podcast. Doesn't matter what the object is. If it's taking pictures or making a vase or a vase, right? One group was told to take one perfect picture in this semester of their schooling, while the other was told to take 1,000 pictures. Guess who at the end of the semester had better quality photos? Mond. Guess. Were you listening? He wasn't listening. So who? Sino?
Siya.
So the group that actually did a lot better was the one that we're told to do 1,000 photos. You know, kidding. So in other words, guys, don't aim for perfect, aim for progress, all right? You're supposed to suck at the start, but then it gets easier and easier. So how does this relate to fitness? Actually, it's really, sorry, I was gonna relate to photos and videos, but never mind, might get too technical here because I'm enjoying photos and videos because it's part of work now. But let's just say the gym. I know a lot of people like analysis by paralysis, they'd feel so intimidated. Oh, I don't know where to start, push-ups or pull-ups or stretches or mobility work or cardio or weights, right? Just start somewhere, guys, all right? If you need direction, then hire a coach. But the point here is just start somewhere. If you don't know where to start, just walk on the treadmill or start walking outside, start jogging or less rice or less carbs, but just start by doing something. Once it becomes a habit, then you can add something on top of it. Because trust me, guys, it's better to do something that is not perfect than it is to wait for it to be perfect and then start doing it, right? You're not going to hurt yourself if you just go slowly. You're not going to injure yourself, right? So if you're afraid of that, please, just move. How can you injure yourself? By walking, right? Unless you're morbidly obese. All right, I like this one. It says, chronic starters can become consistent finishers. I love that. So you have to chronically start and make sure you finish, even if you finish last, but you gotta finish.
Finish him.
I came. Just get started, guys. Like I said, if it's lifting weights, if it's even just stretching 3 times a week, just start doing it. Set goals. It doesn't have to be, you know, joining Ironman or marathon or Spartan race or Tough Mudder, whatever it is. Just start moving. All right, and that's a little win. We have to count little milestones, right? It's not like, you know, 6-pack, that's the ultimate goal. No, it's like, you know, losing a pound this month or dropping an inch this month. That's a win. Count every little win because that leads you to the big goal. and it keeps you motivated, because you're never going to feel motivated if you only reward yourself once you get to the ultimate goal, which might take a year, maybe even more. Okay? So chronic starters can become consistent finishers. All right, the next tip I got from this is the day after perfect. Don't worry about getting it perfect, because if perfect is your goal, nothing will ever get done. So don't make it your goal. Sometimes people hide behind perfectionism and they pretend like things have to be perfect before they do something, because, I don't know, they might feel embarrassed that they fall flat on their face or people make fun of them or whatever it may be. All right? Go for progression. Perfect is the enemy here, guys. And don't think that, actually, I thought of the same thing. Before starting all these videos or trying to push out me as a motivational fitness speaker, key influencer, key opinion leader, whatever it is, the term KOL, yeah, key opinion leader, trailblazer in the fitness industry here in the Philippines. I said, no, I have to learn more, I have to learn more, I had to learn more, I had to read more. Right? I was hiding behind learning more before applying these things. And I said, let's just start applying it. I don't care if I only get 10 views or 1 like or whatever it may be. I'm not going to compromise myself. I'm thinking about the goals that I have, regardless of the side effects. Right? Yes, I'll acknowledge them. Might not get a lot of likes, might not gain traction for a year, whatever it may be. But I'm putting myself out there, because I'd rather try and fail than not even try at all and wonder what it would feel like if I've tried, right? Hopefully that applies to you as well in your fitness journey. I think you'd rather try to go to the gym, maybe look stupid in front of all the other gym goers, right? But it's worth it, right? Yeah, you have to put yourself out there. Yes, your ego might get hurt, but in the long run, it's worth it, rather than not trying at all and being in your deathbed when you're 35 or 40 because you're morbidly obese, you vape a lot, you don't watch what you eat, you might get a stroke or heart condition, whatever it may be, right? And said, oh, I wish I did this a lot sooner. Okay? The pain of regret is worse than the pain of hard work. There you have it. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Cut goals in half. Those who did increase their performance from past similar goal challenges on average by over 60%. So again, if your ultimate goal is a marathon, cut your goals in half. Do a half marathon right there. And just by doing that, those who did increase their performance from past similar goal challenges on average by 60%. So you'll be, your chances of achieving it will be a lot higher just by cutting the goals in half. The next step now, moving on. Make it fun if you want it done. Choosing a goal you believe will be enjoyable increases your satisfaction by 31%. It increases performance success by 46%. Athletes don't see it as sacrifice. They actually enjoy it. 2 things: satisfaction and performance success. Satisfaction success is how you feel about the process, while performance success focuses on what you actually get done. So I like this. Why did I write this? Let me just contemplate. Let me digest this right now. Yeah, make it fun. When I wasn't enjoying my workouts, I started integrating kettlebells, made it fun again, wanted to work out more. When that got boring, because the novelty is gone, we're human beings, that's normal. Then I got into jumping ropes, jump ropes, skip ropes. Right? And it was fun learning all these steps, working my calves more than I would, right? In a different way, different movement compared to just running forward, right? Different plane of motions. So again, when you do that, you get increases by 31%, your satisfaction, and your performance success by 46%. So what is satisfaction success? That is how you feel about the progress. So while you're doing the kettlebell workout, increases by 31%. While performance success focuses on what you actually get done. And that's 46% of what actually gets done, because you make it fun. So ask yourself, what can I do to make it fun? Work out with a buddy. I don't know. dance classes to the beat of the music. There's so many new classes nowadays, or new gym equipment and technology to keep your interest going. So there you have it. Ooh, I like this one. Short and sweet. Failure is loud, progress is quiet. So listen to failure. It's very loud, right? And try to listen to progress as well, because it's very quiet. Try to find out where the progress is. Sometimes we forget because we always move the goalpost. So visualize that, moving the goalpost, the soccer or football goalpost, right? Move it further back, further back, further back, further back. Every time you shoot it, right? Every time you reach the goal, you move it further back, further back. So it's never ending, right? Moving that goalpost. Or even rugby, think about it, or American football, that goalpost, moving it further back. So maybe that's why progress is quiet, because every time we accomplish something little, right, we don't reward ourselves, we don't celebrate small wins, but we just move the goalpost. We go further. All right, we bought a house. Now we buy a second house, the beach house. Now we buy a guest house. Right? Now we buy another, house, ski lodge, right? Whatever it may be. I don't ski off. Okay, forget about that. Anyway, I like this one. Use data to calibrate. No, not calibrate. Use data to celebrate your imperfect progress. Progress is never a linear upward trajectory. Right? It goes up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. But in the long run, if you spread it further enough, or smaller enough, just like how you pinch in or out of a graph, essentially it's still an upward trend, right? So, when you have data, when you track everything, when you measure everything, you see your imperfect progress. Sometimes it feels like you failed today. Oh, I had a chocolate bar, failed, right? But in the long term, you cut out way more sugar than you used to a year ago. But if you're not tracking those things, how can you celebrate those imperfect progress, right? So here's a simple tip, right? My iPad, every phone now has a camera on every device. So just take a picture of everything you eat, right? Then you start to swipe, like you're in Tinder, Bumble, years, months, right? Like the iPhone, you can even go years, start swiping. You start to see that it gets healthier and healthier in the long run. If you don't want to write things down, that's fine. Just take pictures of it, right? If you're a visual learner, or if you're more visual, you start to see that, wow, it's actually getting better. Okay? So there. Okay, next. The candle effect. I like this one here. On a pitch black room, you notice the big difference when you light the candle. Then you light up a second candle. The brightness is less noticeable. That goes the same for the next candles, right? So what's the point of this? How is this relatable, this candle effect, when it comes to fitness? When you start exercising, even if it's just walking, you start to notice gains. Then you start jogging, or you start, adding some weightlifting routine. The gains start to diminish. You still get gains, but it's not as much as it was when you first started, right? When it comes to nutrition, same thing. You cut out carbs, you add more higher quality protein and fat, and you start seeing the results. Clothes are feeling a lot looser. And then you start adding something else, like adding supplements or superfoods into your diet, and the gains is not as fast as it used to be. So just remind yourself when things like these happen that, hey, that's the candle effect right there. And it's okay, it's normal, it happens. Don't let it deter you. Don't let it slow you down. Don't let it demotivate you, okay? That's all data is. A gift from yesterday that you received today to make tomorrow better. I like that there. So if you don't track it, you don't progress it. You can't improve what you don't measure. Data is king, okay? So make sure you track everything as much as you can. The apps nowadays make it a lot easier. from food tracking to workout routines. You know, now you can even just watch videos off your phone when you follow a workout routine and you just enter the weights that you lifted and how many reps. And even your sleep gets easier, right? On your smartwatch, the Ring, they even have this, you know, I think it's called the Whoop, right? The band where you don't have a screen, but it tracks your activity levels. If you have an Apple product like, you know, this iPad or an iPhone, it can track your sleep as well. It uses a microphone, all right, to track your tossing and turning while you're sleeping, your snoring. So it's a lot easier in this day and age to track a lot of things. So what's your excuse, right? If you don't even track it, to me, it shows me that you're not that serious, okay? All right, the next thing is look back to see how far you've gone. It's a lot more encouraging to look at where you've come from than where you're headed in the middle of a goal. So, you're in a marathon, halfway there. I think the marathon is 42 clicks. At kilometer 21, which is half of 42 kilometers, which is equal to a marathon, that's when you look back and see how far you've gone. That's what they're saying here. It's more encouraging to look back how far you've gone rather than looking forward. Okay, so when you're feeling discouraged, look back up how far you've gone. If you can't physically look back, right, like a run, a marathon, then look back at your goals. Maybe if it's your posts, you can look back at a year ago, how far you've gone when you're super skinny or super overweight, right? And that might encourage you. So the last tip here is stop and enjoy each milestone instead of always moving the goalpost. So this is really true to me. Because I'm a goal getter, because I wanted to be like, you know, 30 under 30 on the Forbes, 30 under, sorry, because I wanted, it was like a goal of mine to be under the 30. So Forbes 30 under 30, or now that I'm 40, it was my, you know, kind of like a goal, but not like my mission, you know, to make it to the Forbes 40 under 40. I know it's embarrassing. Who am I anyway, right? But that's how driven I was, that I wanted to do a lot, be a lot, prove a lot to me and to everyone else, right? So whenever I successfully close a new deal or renew a client or, you know, get into something different that's exciting within the same industry, I wouldn't celebrate it. I would move forward and move on to the next one. Okay, great, let's do this. Next, right? I wouldn't enjoy every single milestone and celebrate it. So don't recreate that mistake that I've been through so many times. Take a quick break. Even though it's a small win, celebrate it, guys. I thought it was a bit of a loser to do that, but it really does help. It makes you grateful for what you've been through or what you now have that you used to dream of months ago. All right, so a few other things I want to add to this topic today is Life Force by Tony Robbins. There, first thing I wrote down when I was listening to the audiobook is this. What if I told you there was something you could do for just a few minutes a day that could reduce your risk of cancer by 40%, cut your risk of a stroke by 45%, slash your risk of diabetes, or in the Philippines as we call it, diabetes, by 50%. Here in the Philippines, the DI is pronounced with a J. Pediatrician, diabetes, Christian Dior, Dios mío, diabetes by 50%, have the risk of premature death from heart disease. And if you're a woman, protect you from osteoporosis, known as the silent killer since you often don't know you have it until the bone is broken. It affects 1 of 3 women over the age of 50. There you go. What is this nectar of the gods? And the answer is exercise.
If you want to.
I would be so rich right now if people could just buy this in a pill. Oh my Lord. So yeah, exercise, guys. It makes you more productive. Actually, it worked out right before this shoot. That's why, hence I have more energy than the other videos I've done of talking heads type of video like this. Maybe that's why I have more energy. Then have coffee. But it makes you more productive, less stress, and makes you sleep better at night, guys. So I know it's hard if you don't currently exercise, but it gets easier and easier, and you actually look forward to it. My goals have changed though. I don't really look forward to it, but you look forward to after the workout, because no one has ever said, oh, I regret the workout I just did. No. It's hard. You drag yourself to the gym, or you drag yourself to wherever, the track, wherever you work out. But after that workout, you feel great. So no one regrets working out. All right, the next thing he says in the same book, Life Force, or audiobook, because I listen to audiobooks, is when you exercise just 15 minutes a day, the risk of death goes down by 14% and boosts life expectancy by 3 years on average, according to the study in The Lancet. Next note I put down was, just imagine if a Nobel Prize winning scientist developed a pill that could make your body 9 years younger, while also having a risk of dying prematurely from heart disease. Wouldn't you take this miracle pill? Of course you would. Now what if it wasn't pill, but a lifestyle choice? Consider that researchers have shown that regular physical activity significantly reduces the risk of a wide range of potential devastating illnesses, including coronary heart disease and stroke, hypertension, diabetes, breast, colon cancer, kidney disease, and dementia. But unfortunately, here's the thing. People would rather see the plastic surgeon, all right? They'd rather get the quick nip and tuck than change their lifestyle. But I always try to tell myself this, because it's hard, because people don't do it, I choose to do it, all right? Choose to do things that most people won't do, because then you stand out, then you have great results, right? Then you don't become average. And yes, the average people will point at you trying to do something different, that you've changed. But that's why they're average. And that's why you don't want to be average, or that's why you want above average results. So expect that that will happen, okay?